Welcome back to our very special Ask the Experts Day for the Renegade Millionaire System. And we are just going to be rocking and rolling here. Up next we have Steve Big Hat Sipress. And I'm really excited to have you here, Steve.
Is this the Super Conference in Dallas?
This is not the Super Conference in Dallas, but you know, when people invest in the Renegade Millionaire System, guess what?
I know, we all get a free ticket to the Super Conference.
You get a free ticket.
That's why I'm all excited.
So you're all excited for the Super Conference in Dallas. So Steve is a very successful entrepreneur. He is also the chapter president or owner? How does that work?
Whatever they want to call me.
Whatever.
I'm the local chapter director for Chicago for the Glazer-Kennedy Insider Circle.
The Glazer-Kennedy Insider Circle, and you're known as the king of implementation, as I understand.
Well, Bill Glazer called me that. When I put in my application for Market of the Year for Glazer-Kennedy about a couple of years ago, Bill said, "I've never seen anyone implement as much of our stuff in 1 year as you have."
Right.
And so I thought that was kind of cool.
So tell us a little bit about your business and how you grew it and the impact that Dan Kennedy and these Renegade Millionaire strategies had.
Well, gee, I know I only have a few minutes, so I can't get into everything, but I can tell you that I've been in owning my own businesses and been in sales for my whole career, and of course all through school, and we all, I'm sure, entrepreneurs, the old paper route and whatever. But it was ups and downs, and wondering where the next customer's coming from, or taking sales jobs and doing cold calling and being miserable at it and miserable of it. And I took a job. I started doing some consulting work, and I took a job as a director of sales for a company right here in Chicago that brought me in. The ad said, "Too many leads. We need someone to close all these hot leads that are coming in." Right. I was like, as a salesperson, that's a dream.
That's a dream, right? Exactly, right.
I'm like, but of course, also skeptical. Like, yeah, sure.
Right.
So I drove down to Chicago.
Right.
I went in, and sure enough, the phone's ringing off the hook. And so they didn't know what they were doing to close sales. Long story short, I got the job, and a little later on, I saw inside on the desk of the guy who was doing the marketing, getting all the leads, I saw this little bobblehead doll, which was a Dan Kennedy bobblehead.
You're kidding me.
And I was like, okay, what's with, I've seen football players, basketball players, baseball players, bobbleheads. What's with the grown man in a suit on a bull and a bobblehead? What's that all about? And his answer was life-changing for me. He just said, "How do you think we're getting all these leads?" Wow. It's because of that guy.
Wow.
And so I subscribe to his newsletter, and I'm flying out to his super conference, and I follow all his stuff, and that's how this works.
Wow.
So I was like, that's a guy I need to get to know, and know in the sense of I need to get whatever he's got and get into it. So, and the bottom line was, as I learned later on, that what was getting the phone to ring was using Dan Kennedy Renegade strategies. We were implementing things that nobody else was doing, of course, and that's why it worked. And so I fell in love with it, and as the rest, as they say, is history. I guess what happens is my mom was a school teacher, and my dad was a salesperson and a small business owner, and so I'm a perfect mix of the two. I love to teach small business owners and business and salespeople. So this gave me something. Not only did it work for me, but it's worked in every business conceivable thing I've ever had anyone ask me to implement it into, and so now that's how I make a living. I help people implement Dan Kennedy strategies.
And that's a great story. I did not know that, actually. And I think it's really important that people realize that the system over here, the system that you'll be investing in or that you've already invested in, I know literally hundreds and hundreds of people are investing in it, is about, one of the key components is about generating leads. Whether they're leads to a phone room, leads to your website, driving traffic. And is that something that you teach your members?
Well, of course, because that's what it's all about. Is, and especially Dan will teach, like, instead of just thinking transactionally, like, I got to make a sale today. People coming to say, I got to make a sale. He teaches in his systems what we call the two-step marketing, which is first get the lead, and then you're only actually making a proposal, selling to people that are interested, that have already told you, I'm a lead, I'm interested in what you got. Well, that changes the whole game, and it takes away all the cold calling grunt work. You take the letters right out of the program, or the emails, whatever you want to do, and you send them out to people, and however many you send out, only the few that are really interested in what you have are the ones you talk to. So the whole conversation becomes much more pleasant, and then this ugly, uphill, unpleasant battle of trying to convince someone to buy something they never even expressed an interest in. So it changes the whole game, relieves all the stress, and it allows me to go to sleep at night, and my clients, knowing that that phone's ringing, people that are interested in buying are calling, and aren't those the ones we all find the easiest and enjoy the most talking to, and they'll buy our stuff.
What would you say to the person who is watching this right now? They say, that Dan Kennedy, he's old school. He doesn't know anything about the internet. Is this stuff going to work on the internet? Why did you...
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If anyone follows, and I hope I'm not, unveiling any behind-the-scenes secrets here, but if anyone follows any of the big internet marketers, from Russell Brunson, Ryan Dice, Matt Basak, on and on, Perry Marshall is going to be here.
Yeah, Perry's going to be here, absolutely.
Where do you think they got all that from? Frank Kern says, I remember watching a video where Frank Kern said, everything I know about marketing I learned from Dan Kennedy. So what Dan talks about is the decision of the media to use, which the internet is a medium.
Right.
Dan Kennedy strategies work in all media. They work online, offline, postcards, emails, even yellow pages. I sold yellow pages for years, used Dan Kennedy strategies, turned my people from the old no one uses the yellow pages to making tons of money with it. So internet marketers, everything they get from Dan Kennedy, they just put into the internet. So you don't want to be thrown off track by convincing yourself that somehow the medium matters. You want to use Dan Kennedy strategies in anything you're doing. If you want to, which I wholeheartedly suggest you join us in the fun Planet Dan world of success through this stuff.
And it is fun, as you can see, Steve, big hat.
Can you see the big hat?
Well,
is that enough already?
Can I see the big hat?
Am I getting hat head? All right,
Okay.
I'll take off the crazy hat.
Quite frank.
I'll put on the hat of my local Dan Kennedy group.
Okay, there it is.
Chicagoland's sharpest entrepreneurs.
Chicagoland's sharpest. You're the man of many hats.
They told me you're not allowed to wear a hat, which is why I knew, thanks to Dan Kennedy's renegade teaching, I must wear a hat.
I see, because you would go against
whatever
the opposite.
You're told not to do, I must do. That's how you succeed.
Well, let's talk about your group, and let's talk about, so you can give a lesson. Let's say that you're teaching. We've got literally thousands of people watching us right now, Steve. And so let's say that they're in your group, they're sitting in your meeting right now. What are maybe one or two of the things that you could teach them, renegade principles that they can use to grow their business, to make more money?
Wow, okay, I'm glad you said only one or two, and probably only even have maybe time for one, but I mean, Dan has said it, if you watch the free videos, which were awesome, that Dan gave, this run into the fire mentality, this do the opposite of what everyone does. And we see it, and I guess here's what it comes down to. Not to think, well, that's what they're doing, but I'm just little old me. Okay, because if you see, Tony Robbins or Robert Kiyosaki, who Robert Kiyosaki was a struggling, broke, trying to do anything, came to a super conference, saw Dan Kennedy, said, I'm going to implement that stuff, and now people would say, oh, but he's Robert Kiyosaki. Well, that's who everyone watching this is in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. So not to discount and think, oh, that's only what, only Kim Kardashian can celebritize herself having no talent whatsoever and make $100 million. Yeah, well, but the talent is she uses renegade strategies and celebritizes herself. She does outrageous things that nobody else does or people are afraid to do. So I guess that's the two things. Don't be afraid of people laughing at you. Clearly, hopefully people are laughing at my ridiculous hats and now this one or whatever. I'm fine with that. So get over the fact of what your non-customers think of you, competitors, anybody else, get over it. Who cares? In fact, do things purposely that'll get all those people riled up. And that gels your audience to love you. So whether you're, and we see some insight into this on these celebrity reality shows. So if anyone's seen the Ozzy Osbourne show, now I haven't seen the show, but I've seen clips. Like on the stage, he was known to be this yelling, screaming, crazy, bite the hat off a bat guy. But when he's on this show, he's a puttering old grandpa puttering around the house. Or Gene Simmons, who's a fire-breathing, big shot, crazy guy, sticking his tongue out, whatever, with makeup. And then you see behind the scenes, he's a doddering old guy around the house, messing around. So what we've all done is we've all created a character who has been an out there, crazy, against the tide character. And that draws the attention, and the attention draws the leads, which draws people into your herd to want to buy your stuff. So I highly recommend that everybody do what we've done. Take something out of your personality and craft that into a character. You don't think Robin Williams sits at home on the couch and is a wild and zany and crazy guy, or Steve Martin? These guys get Academy Award nominations for being their thoughtful, quiet, thoughtful roles. Because they were known as crazy comedians. Well, which one do you think is the real them? I think the real them is more the quiet, thoughtful business person. but they crafted the wild and crazy guy. That's what we need to do too. That's what Dan teaches us. That's what works.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Dan talks about in this system is creating that personality, is getting out there, is self-promotion, and the importance of self-promotion. Talk a little bit about the importance of self-promotion. That is a common theme from all the renegade millionaires that Dan has interviewed on there. But talk about the importance of really getting out there and promoting yourself.
Well, it has to be, especially since I entered the Dan Kennedy world from the sales world. So for instance, take my 3.5 years selling Yellow Pages. I could not just be known as just another Yellow Page rep or ad rep who was coming in the door and just showing my stuff, and that's what they taught us, show the book and tell them how great the ads are and how great the Yellow Pages, and I'm like, it can't be about the Yellow Pages. It has to be about me, is what Dan's teaching. And then people will want to meet with me. So what I did that was different was I said, you know, I'm coming to meet with you, and what you want to do is have all your marketing ready, because I will help you with all of it. Your website, your postcards, your brochure, your business card, and your Yellow Page. I'll help you with all of it. So right away, I was not your average Yellow Page rep, and I was promoting myself as a savior to them. And so then when I helped them with everything, finally, I said, now your Yellow Page ad. And what do you think happened when I got to the Yellow Page ad? They were much open to listening to me, and if they listened to me, they bought ads, referred me to other people, and I broke every record and made a lot of money selling Yellow Pages because I helped a lot of people out with their marketing. But I had to do it completely different than they taught me as a sales rep to do it. So especially people that are in a multi-level marketing or a sales rep or in a commodity type of business, you can't do what you're taught to do. You've got to promote yourself, and you got to be completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, what would you say to someone who's thinking about getting the Renegade Millionaire system? You know, they've had their mouse over the order button, and they're thinking about doing it. They haven't made that investment yet because they're, God, this is a lot of money. What would you say to them?
That's kind of a leading question, because if you're ever at one of my Chicago Land Sharpest Entrepreneurs group, there's a sign up in the front of the room with a quote from me that's always up there that I say very simply, people are always wanting more ideas. And so what you're saying is they probably think this could be a good idea. They're thinking about it. And I got a lot of good ideas from the video, and they'll get a lot of good ideas from today. And they'll come up to me after a meeting or anytime I speak, and they go, that was great, got a lot of good ideas. So I have a big sign that says, ideas make you feel good, but only actions make you money. So I would stop thinking about it, take action, and doesn't it have a guarantee?
Yeah, it absolutely has a guarantee.
So there is no risk
Right.
to trying it, doing something in it, taking some action, and if it doesn't work, then I guess you're the only one ever that this thing didn't work for. Congratulations, you should get a prize for that, but just return the thing then. Or maybe you just didn't want to take it, then return it. But I mean, take action. Stop thinking and start acting.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You just said it, and you're right, Steve. We didn't talk about it. There is a guarantee on this. It's 100% guaranteed. So get it and make the investment in it. Get it, try it, put it to work. Because the reason we can offer the guarantee, Steve, is like you said, if somebody takes it and uses it, it's going to work,
of course,
regardless of the business. Again, so talk a little bit about that. How many different kinds of business owners are in your group now who are using these Renegade principles?
Well, that's a good point. We have about 200 members. So,
you have 200 members. Wow.
About that, it goes up and down. People give up on themselves, and other people come and join. But I once tried to put together a whole list, but since a lot of people are in multiple businesses, it probably represents 300, 400, 500 businesses.
Wow.
And even two people that have two different dentists or two insurance people or two heating and air guys can be in two totally separate businesses. One heating air guy that focuses on emergency repairs, another one that focuses on remodeling or commercial work. So that's one of the most fun thing I have running the group, is this thrill that I'm helping all these different businesses and having this rippling effect all throughout Chicago and beyond of therefore also helping all these people get help from these businesses and solve their problems, thanks to me being bold enough to just put aside my skepticism, my disbelief, and give this thing a shot. And then it worked so well for me. I caught myself saying my mom would love me to hear that I just told people to stop thinking. Because, she was a school teacher.
Right.
I went to college. I have a law degree, so I've done a lot of thinking. And it's time to stop thinking and start acting. There's probably everyone out there knows enough about running your business, knows enough about being real good at what you do, and has been thinking about what marketing to do. It's stop thinking that getting better at doing your business is going to change your life and suddenly get you out of the recession and making all the money you want. It's doing something new, taking a shot, and doing some renegade, crazy out there marketing that when you really comes right down to it, since all the successful people do it, it isn't that crazy, and it isn't out there at all. What it's crazy and out there from is the norm. And the norm, look around right now, the norm is failure,
Right.
is struggle, is worry. So of course, do something different and crazy from the norm and be successful.
Absolutely, and the way to start with that is to get this Renegade Millionaire system, get all the bonuses, including the bonus that I'm including, my email marketing system, $497 product, only if you get it today. Steve,
I thought we weren't supposed to talk and talk about our bonuses.
well, my bonus is for everybody.
Oh.
Everybody gets the bonus.
Because a renegade would disobey that rule and
Right.
say, go to dankennedybonus.com and check out my bonus.
they would, and thank you.
But only a renegade
and
would do
only
that.
renegade would putting that in. Steve the Hat Cypress,
Thanks.
thank you very much, and thanks for coming in.